Hi everybody, Raging back with another Mechabellum video. Today's video, our opponent is Ibavan. I think that's how you say it. He's a 2360 MMR player, which puts him basically top 25 in the world. And we're going to be trying Typhoon Specialist and pairing it with some intensive trainings. So starting out here, we are Typhoon Specialist. We have the Steel Balls and the Fangs. It's not exactly my favorite pairing. I think they're a little bit awkward together, but I mostly just pick it because of the Typhoon Specialist. I've been trusting that lately. Our opponent is a Missile Specialist, so he's going to get the 2 missiles on round 2. He's starting out with Crawlers and Sledgehammers. So we're just deciding what we'd like to pair our Steel Balls with. And almost always, if I don't start with Crawlers, when I have Steel Balls, I'll end up buying some Crawlers. Opponent goes with the 2 Marksmen, which should be able to ping down our Steel Balls relatively well if I leave my Steel Balls. I'm still deciding what I'd like to do here. Because I don't have the ability to have Arc Lights on round 1, because I started with Fangs and not Crawlers, I opt to stick my Steel Balls together instead, because if I separate them, they're not going to have the chaff clear, whereas if I keep the balls together on round 1, I have a better chance of winning the round, especially against tanks. Anytime I'm paired against tanks, I don't like to separate the Steel Balls. I like to keep them together. So let's see how round 1 goes here. I kind of like that we can just fly straight at this tower, especially with the Steel Balls. Just have one defending pack of Fangs here. It actually turns out to be relatively okay. We do have lots of the Crawlers alive, and all of the balls together will be able to take out the Sledgehammer pack, as well as the Marksman. But now we don't have any Fangs left, so it'll be a little bit more difficult. And it's pretty close, but the tanks are just a little too much with the Marksman. But basically an even round. So round 2, we have some options here. The intensive training and the improved firepower control system catch my eye. So I go with the intensive training, and my plan is to use it on the next round on the Typhoon, the round I get it. My opponent takes Assault Scorpion, seeing that I'm a Typhoon Specialist, so wants to be prepared for Typhoons. With that, that's a preemptive play. I guess he's a little nervous of the Typhoons. So I sell a pack of balls here on the left, and I'm not sure if I want to get myself into an ASIM aggro game with Typhoon, since they're not exactly the fastest unit. I'd much rather have a headbutt with it. So to prepare for using the intensive training on Typhoon, I opt to grab some tarantulas, and I'm going to start to meet his units on the right, but they're going to be really naked on this round because I don't have any money left to get any chaff, so I'm just deciding how to position them so that they don't just basically get completely destroyed and don't do anything useful, because I expect to lose this round. And we definitely do lose it. Pretty hard. But that was to be expected, because it's more of a preparation round. So on round 3, we have some free units offered to us. There's a couple of things that stick out to me here. The Stormcallers potentially could be used here behind my Tarantulas to take out his Marksmen and Sledgehammers. Could also use the Wraith potentially. But the 3 Arc Lights look like I don't have any chaff clear on the left, and I'm going to start to move to the right, but I still need chaff clear on the left. So because of that, I'm going to grab these Arc Lights, and I'm just going to stick a couple of them here on the left, and that'll just shore up my, it'll take out these Crawlers that he's placed on the left. Stick one of the Arc Lights up here in his deep flank, and I sell the other pack of Steel Balls. Since I don't think that they're going to be useful this game, I'm just going to go heavy into the Typhoon. And so what I'm doing right now in my head is I'm thinking, is there a way for me to elite recruit a Typhoon and level it to level 3, but I need more chaff. So because of that, I'm not going to make that play. I do have the intensive training, so I will be able to get this Typhoon to level 2, but I'm just going to solve the chaff problem. So stick a crawler here. I give a crawler to the Typhoon to protect him, and I also give a crawler here, so I can have a little bit of trickle chaff coming in here. And we do have the level 2 Typhoon. Let's see how round 3 goes. Now that we have the level 2 Typhoon. And a little bit more chaff. The arc lights are good. They're just sort of a solid wall there. They'll take out lots of chaff. And now that we have chaff, we've been able to take out the sledgehammers as well as the marksmen here on the right. And decent tower timing here as well, because it gives the arc light slightly more time to kill some crawlers. It looks like this will be our round just because we have the high level Typhoons here, and Wraith is pretty good against it, but level 2 Typhoon with a couple of supporting units will definitely win this. And so we take round 3 off the back of the big Typhoon. So quick teleport here on round 4 does stand out to me, but also so does the port shield. Port shield on Typhoon's really good since it's multiple units. They both get the benefit of the portable shield. So basically, it basically doubles its health and also acts as a if there was ever an attack that would be able to kill it in one shot, it wouldn't be able to kill it also. It eats an instance of damage. So opponent here is using his Assault Scorpion on my flank to attack my Typhoon here. I've not seen other people do this very much, so I thought this was kind of a cool idea. It's not exactly the best. You'll see. It doesn't really work, but it's kind of a good idea, I guess. I leveled these crawlers to level 2, and I also give the Arclight up here a little bit of support with some crawlers. I'm grabbing myself another Typhoon. Grab a little bit more chaff. I put the port shield on the Typhoon here. Stick another Typhoon here on the left. And I grab the mobile beacon, and I'm going to mobile beacon these crawlers to that tower. So this Scorpion won't do much this turn, but I have to think about it on the next turn because it'll be loaded in by then. Opponent also sticks a Scorpion up here to deal with the Arclight flank. I think that's a little bit of an expensive investment for just an Arclight, but it does work. I guess he just doesn't want to worry about it too much. And so the mobile beacon was good on the crawlers there, and also we have some crawlers that made it on the left. And now we're able to take down this other Scorpion. Let's see if we can get level 3 on these Typhoons, because our intensive training is back up next turn, and if they can get level 3, then we can use that, and they'll be level 4. There you go, they hit level 3. On round 5, we have some options here. The Overlord is the obvious pick for me. This is not it's not like a ground cannon game or anything. I just decided to go heavy into the Typhoons in this game. I'm just going to use the Overlord here to kill this Wraith that he has on the left that has the port shield. So, like I said, we have level 3 on the Typhoon, and we have the intensive training available to us. But I'm just trying to, so I'm putting crawlers here. I'm trying to figure out how to distract this Scorpion. And also I take the barrier because it will eat a shot. I don't want these Typhoons to just be blasted by this Scorpion, especially if he takes double shot. And if it's level 4, it'll have 32,000 HP on its shield, which will block full shots from the Scorpion here, as long as we continue to kill it before it gets any kills. I sell one of the Tarantulas because I want to use the intensive training on this guy, and I didn't have enough. And now we can also still afford our final deployment. Like I said, we have the Overlord here on the left to meet the Wraith that he now has at level 3. We level the Tarantula to level 2. We have the level 4 Typhoon, and we grab another pack of crawlers just to arrive late here And I'm going to do that beacon again with the crawlers that I did last turn. But now he has the fire badgers, so they won't be able to make it this time. But that scorpion does die, and actually, because I added the crawlers there right to its left, it shoots them instead of the Typhoon. Overlord is able to take out the Wraith, which is good. That's all I wanted it for. And look how tanky these guys are. So they have 32,000 on their shields, and then each Typhoon with a shield barrier has like 90k health. So these are like already over 200k health Typhoons with the portable shield. And it's pretty much just, it's the only unit that I have like alive still, besides the Overlord. But like it still has its port shield. It has taken hardly any damage here. So I'm just hard leveling these guys. And it's starting to feel like we're going to have a level 9 unit on this game. So round 6 comes up, and I just auto-pick the speed. One of my favorite things to click on the Typhoon. This guy almost leveled, but didn't. I elite recruit 2 more Typhoons, and one of my favorite things to take on Typhoon is Mech Rage. And when you already have the advanced power system on it, the speed on these Typhoons get up to like 19 after I take the Mech Rage. They're already at 15 before Mech Rage. And I need to think about the Rhino Assault, which just came back up this turn. He sells his Wraith there on the left, which frees up his portable shield. And he has a lot of Scorpions now on his side, and he has the Fire Badgers with range. So you can see that this Scorpion is shooting this Crawler, but my opponent is a good player, and he's going to notice that that's happening, I think, and try to change that. So he does. Actually already noticed it, takes the mobile beacon, and mobile beacons it at my Typhoon to make it face there. And I couldn't see him doing that during the game, because I was actually still taking my turn here. I knew that he was doing it because I was like, well, it says it's going to be shooting the Crawler, but it's not shooting the Crawler. So this guy's pretty good with his mobile beacons. It doesn't actually do much, though. And so I put a missile just to block that Rhino. And I'm betting that we have enough speed to get to the tower before the Rhino. And I'm correct. We do take the tower there. And now we have level 5 on these Typhoons, which means that they're going to be level 6 next turn with the intensive training. He doesn't have double shot on the Scorpion yet. And actually is able to take down this level 4 Typhoon here. But does not have enough upshoot against the Overlord. And so we'll take the round just because we have the flying guy. Okay, so we get another intensive training offered to us. So, yeah. So it's level 7 now, and it has Mech Rage. So this Typhoon, each Typhoon has 150,000 health and a 56,000 barrier. So these are like 400,000 health Typhoons here. Definitely a force to be reckoned with. Opponent now has gotten double shot on the Scorpion. He's opting to meet us on the left. So he has lots of Fire Badgers for his Chaff Clear, and has Scorpions to kill the Typhoons. But it's a good idea because the Scorpion is kind of a counter to the Typhoon. But like when you have a level 7 Typhoon, what do you do? I sold the level 2 Overlord to pick up 2 level 1 Overlords because I thought I might need assistance on the right with them. But then actually mid-round, I end up changing my mind and I end up leaving them on the left because they're actually pretty useful with what they're doing. So now instead of a level 2 Overlord, we have 2 level 1 Overlords, and they're just going to exist that way. So we take the loan and the range and the speed. So now, like I said, we have 19 meter per second Typhoons. And I also missile out some chaff there in the front. So with the Mech Rage, also, each shot on this level 7 Typhoon is doing 1,000 each shot is 1,000 damage. Which just seems utterly broken to me. I don't know if anybody's gotten 2 intensive trainings and used it on Typhoons before, but it is disgusting. The double shot in the Scorpions, though, is definitely not nothing. That level 3 Scorpion there was able to take out the high-level Typhoon eventually. And this is going to be kind of similar to the last round, where we win by basically a single Overlord. Well, and maybe a couple Typhoons. So my opponent on this round takes the Mustangs because he's a little worried about me continuing to go into the boats, but I'm not going to continue to go into the boats here. So I take the Sabertooths because I think they're decent at fighting Scorpions, but mostly I'm just taking it for the money. So I'm going to end up selling one of these, and I'm going to invest further into these Typhoons. I noticed that the double shot and range on the Scorpion was enough to bring down this high-level Typhoon, and so because of that, I'd like to add the homing missiles to the push. So there's the homing missiles. I did sell one of the Sabertooths, since they're worth 400. There you go. And now we have enough money to take some levels on these guys. And also have enough money to get a couple more Typhoons. Since I have the Mech Rage shield and the homing missile, there's sort of my do-it-all unit right now. So I can just keep investing into the Typhoons because of that. I'm a little bit worried about my flanks. They're really wide open here, so I'm going to probably opt to put a couple missiles down. Opponent is missiling out these crawlers. Like I said, once you have the barrier on the Typhoon, it sort of discourages the use of the missile strikes, since there's not much to hit. And I actually beacon these fangs because I thought he might try to hit these fangs and do like a flank or something. Opponent takes the anti-air on the Mustangs on this round. That's really the main difference here. So let's see how these Typhoons do with the addition of the homing missile. So he has so much stuff for us to get through, but because we have Mech Rage and the missiles, we're kind of... This is like my only unit alive on the right, by the way. Just... This is crazy. That it can, like, do as much as it is doing here. It's basically almost soloing all of this stuff here. And actually, it's going to take down this Scorpion. Jeez, him. I love the missiles. They give them really good range, actually. Because the Typhoon doesn't have very good range, but once you give them the missiles, they do. So we almost win off that. This is just... It's kind of a slaughter with the intensive training. Then we get Lightning Storm, and that's just sort of the nail in the coffin. I knew once I got Lightning Storm here, this is going to be really difficult for him to stop. And actually, it's not even that bad for us. So now, because I know that there's a Lightning Storm coming, he's probably not going to use it on this Typhoon here. But in case he does decide to use it on this side for some reason, like maybe he just wants it to be a strong side, I now have these other intensive trainings, and we have a level 4 Typhoon already on this side. So I'm just going to make a Giga Typhoon on the left and a Giga Typhoon on the right. This guy's level 8. This guy's level 6. Opponent finally sells the Assault Scorpion here, right in front of the Typhoon, since it didn't do anything the entire round. It never once, like, even scratched the Typhoon. Opponent grabs range and has anti-air, also grabs range on the Mustangs. So I don't think that... I'm not sure what he was thinking. Maybe he thought I was going to keep going into the Overlords, but I don't end up going more into the Overlords. I just have these 2 level 1 Overlords that exist here. I also grab 2 more level 2 Typhoons, and I want them to be late arriving. I'm worried about flanks. So I'm just going to have late Typhoons, but they have 19 meters per second, so they'll be able to catch up anyway. It's actually not a big deal that they're back here. I'm just, I'm putting them a little bit closer, and I'm beaconing them so that they face the flank, just in case. And I'm doing this beacon again with the Overlord. So now we have level 8 Typhoons on this side, which is just insane. And like I said, the Lightning Storm is sort of the nail in the coffin. It's just going to clear out like all of the chaff and make it even easier for our Typhoons to connect on these guys. And actually on this turn, this Scorpion's not able to take us out. And so even though we never got these Typhoons to level 9, they did hit level 9. Which is pretty crazy. I've not had this level high Typhoons with the portable shields. Just like, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I'm not sure how you really stop it, I guess. Maybe War Factory? I guess War Factory probably could have been an idea for him. But you can see he kind of packed everything in. Like, he doesn't have a lot of space for War Factories, but... And I'm not even fully convinced that War Factory would stop it, but maybe a War Factory early enough in the game would stop it from continuing to level. But then again, we did have the intensive training, so... Just sort of a crazy game where I just go heavy into these Typhoons. Like, this Typhoon really was, like, everything for our board. And at the end, we had the level 6 Typhoon. But actually, I think it ended up dying somehow. Probably to the Lightning Storm and the double shot on the Scorpions. Just thought that this game was pretty crazy, and also this is definitely my highest win in the season. Beating a 2360 MMR player is pretty crazy. Definitely been a while since I beat somebody of this guy's caliber. If you guys ever get the chance to pair intensive training with Typhoon, definitely give it a try. It's pretty crazy. You don't even really need anything else, honestly. You just you take these 3 techs, and I mean, if they go air, you could even take the aerial specialization, but for the most part, you don't really need it. These 3 techs are great. Because most of the time your opponent's going to be taking Scorpions, and I find that homing missile just kind of deletes Scorpions. So that is going to do it for today's video. Thanks very much for watching. I hope everybody enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.